Hey Gemini, welcome to October 2019. This month I am pulling from my Mana cards deck because I love Hawaii. And actually, your card for this month also pertains a little bit to loving Hawaii and its wisdom that it has to offer. So I pulled for you a Huna. And Huna was talking about how in the past there was the Kahuna, who were the priests of Hawaii, but their knowledge was meant to be kept secret. It was like esoteric knowledge. It wasn't supposed to be shared. So there were kind of all these restrictions on who was allowed to know the secrets of the universe and all of that. And there was this temple. I'm going to pull up the book a little bit. There was a temple called Wahaula. And that was kind of like basically the place where they kept all the secrets. And there were consequences if people shared it. The consequences such that like a bunch of people would die. There was like, I think a story about like people from the, like around the time of Atlantis, if one believes in these fairy tales, there were people who came from the Pleiades and like went to Hawaii, which maybe is why I like Hawaii, because I like to think if I'm from outer space, I'm from the Pleiades. Fun fact about me and my insanity. So anyway, yeah, they weren't, it wasn't supposed to be common knowledge. But then, and to the point that like this temple that they built to protect all these secrets in 1989, like the volcano that it was like kind of sitting on erupted, and the lava like went like in a 90-degree angle to miss the temple. So the Hawaiians believed, like, yeah, this temple that guards the secrets, it's, you know, the gods, like, Pele herself, like, does not want anyone to know this shit. But then, on August 11th, 1997, the volcano erupted again, and it did burn down that temple, and so then the belief was like, well, the world needs to know these esoteric secrets that the Hawaiians had. The Huna, the secret esoteric knowledge, needs to be public now because the world needs it. And isn't that the truth? I mean, if you're wondering what me as a white girl is doing, like reading Hawaiian cards, I mean, that's what I'm doing. It's like this, I want to honor these indigenous cultures, but also like the world is in a state where it needs the wisdom that Hawaii has to offer and the peace that comes from these teachings. So I'm going to read from the book because, and this is kind of like, to me, these 7 things I'm about to read are the 7 principles. I think it's kind of like, to me, it's better than like it's way better than the 10 Commandments. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, instead of the 10 Commandments, we should be teaching everyone this. So I'm going to now divulge some esoteric secrets for you. You create your own reality. Ike. And then Kala, you are unlimited. Makia, you get what you concentrate on. Manawa, the moment of power is now. Aloha, to love is to be happy with. Mana, which I also pulled for you. All power comes from within. And Pono, effectiveness is the measure of truth. So, it's kind of like you create your own reality. I think what I've been discovering a little bit is that when they say life is but a dream, it kind of is just life is but a dream. And the external world kind of is a reflection of our inner reality. I'm not fully sure how it works, to be honest. I'm not sure to what extent this is true. But it's definitely a little bit like the Matrix, and part of the reason why we do all this weird tarot magic shit is to go unravel our own things, to unlearn things, to... I don't really think tarot is useful so much as, like, trying to predict the future of, like, are you gonna meet a dude or a girl? Like, whatever, you know? Who cares? I mean, I guess love is important. But to love is to be happy with. Aloha, I mean, that is, like, love is a state of being. Love is an energy. Love is just how you are in the world. Love is like kind of, I love my friends. I love my family. I love my dog nephew who I'm dog sitting for, you know? Like, when I'm tapping into that energy of how I love them, I'm healing myself too, and I'm radiating better energy in the world. So, aloha is kind of like true acceptance and like appreciation of everyone being a little bit different and a little bit weird. Mana, all power comes from within. This card is also kind of like the Force in Star Wars, that everything is energy, and so when we're kind of like getting in alignment with our own energy, then we're able to navigate the world. You are unlimited, Kala, along those lines. Like, you are capable of whatever, but you just need to like build yourself up to that, and you need to like get past your own blocks of like what you don't think is possible. That's why we do tarot. We do tarot for all of this, to get us closer to that enlightenment, like the full expression of ourselves and our powers and our gifts that we're here to give to the world. You get what you concentrate on. I mean, that's kind of like your thoughts become things. And I mean, I think a better way of putting that is just like, if I'm looking for the color red, like I see the color red. I see the color red, right back there. You know, it's like kind of like that. I'm noticing if I'm looking for someone's bad behavior, I'm noticing it. If I'm looking for what's good in other people, I'm noticing it. The power of the moment is now. You know, that old shit, like, the past is done, the future is unwritten, the only moment that really actually exists is this moment, and that's so hard for us to actually comprehend. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird how, like, we're so resistant to being just present and being here now? I have a friend who said, like, for her meditation, she didn't sit and close her eyes, she just said, I'm back. Like, I'm back. I'm back here in this moment now. What's happening right now? Right now, I'm holding a book. I'm breathing. I'm talking to you, Gemini. All power, we talked about that. Effectiveness is the measure of truth, Pono. Let's see if I can find some info on that. Pono. Excuse me. I just want to be giving you all I can, because I'm trying to divulge esoteric secrets. Alright, whoops, I don't know. Alright, sorry, Gemini. Forget it. Pono, whatever the effectiveness of the truth or whatever, that'll be your own journey. I don't have anything to give you on that one. Alright, but, I'm gonna read these guys now. See what's going on in October, but I feel like, what a weird start to your reading. Emperor, Three of Cups reverse. October, Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords, a lot of truth. Damn, sounds like I should know what Pono means. Eight of Cups, Four of Pentacles reverse. I think okay, ooh, Five of Cups. Gemini. Oh, Gemini. I mean, I think that I can start with this. There's, for sure, elements of you kind of understanding, making peace with, something's gotta change, something's gotta give, right? Like the Jack Nicholson movie that I don't think I ever saw. The Emperor. This feels a little bit like the patriarchy. It feels like a little bit of like an outside force, a power, authority that kind of has some dominion over you. And but I started out with like you unlocking the secrets to all this esoteric knowledge. And certainly part of you tapping into these spiritual gifts that Hawaii has to offer you and other teachings might have to offer you. It's like you're understanding your own power. So it's like instead of the emperor, you're finding your own inner emperor so that you can kind of like disrupt and get out of the mode of having someone else be your authority figure. I think all of us, and like the Force, right? You're channeling the Force. It's so important for us to, especially like just the collective. This card, I laughed when it came out because I pulled it for everyone. Everyone's dealing with mana right now. We're all kind of like coming into our own power. Like Capricorn got this, Pisces got this, I think Taurus got it, and then I was like, no, I need another card. And so it's like, you're in good company of kind of like finding your own inner strength. Like Aquarius was dealing with this too, a fellow air sign, which is like that you need to be finding your inner emperor, because otherwise the external emperor is calling all the shots. And I think you've definitely been stuck in a little bit of this grief. There's been a little bit of sadness. There's been a little bit of like, why aren't things working out? And I think really what you're needing to do is move on from this. You have to leave it behind. It's, I got the 3 of Cups in reverse, so it's kind of like there's just like a lack of harmony, not fully being in the place where you're really gonna be best served. And maybe you've been holding on to this situation out of kind of a place of fear, like whatever, if it's a job you hate or like a relationship that's not working or whatever, you know, however this is shaking out for you, wherever you've been stuck, I think it's because you've been scared to let go, not fully sure that there's something else waiting for you. And I think you've had, and maybe you're still in October kind of grieving, because there's like this loss, and there's just like kind of the moving on from things that weren't working anymore. This whole thing that wasn't working, the like, maybe these are friends that you've known for a bit, but you realize you're growing apart and that you don't have that much in common anymore, and you're like, well, you're not really. Like, it's just maybe trying to fit around a hole in a square peg, squares and holes and circles, right? It's just, you've been holding on for so long, but it's been out of fear. And so I think as you're maybe challenging this emperor who's been dominating your life and kind of like not treating you well and being kind of a piece of shit, this influence in your life, you're having to channel it within you. You're trying to find your own inner confidence of a white man. I mean, obviously I'm a white girl, but like, I did not grow up with that sense of confidence or like liking myself or feeling like I deserved things. I definitely did not grow up with that. And I'm still, even though I'm like a radical feminist, I still say sorry for no reason often, right? It's just so conditioned in me. Like, that's to me what I think of when I see the emperor, is like, we're just taught to be afraid. We're taught to like hang on for dear life to whatever we have because that might be all we get. A fear and survival lack mentality, but you're letting that go. And it's like, you're slaying it. You're finding truth. And I think that goes back to, you know, the emperor in the past was keeping all this hidden from you, all these secrets, all these divine knowledge teachings that the kahuna knew. They were like, oh, only the men get to know that kind of thing, right? And now, and you might be a dude yourself, and so I mean, not like to throw shade at you, but even you, if you're a dude, then you've like not been able to feel your feelings, and you've like not been able to be all the parts of yourself, and you've like kind of, you know, probably you're just not allowed to be the full express. Like, none of us have been, like, this emperor has been abusive to everyone. Like, no one's been allowed to be the full expression of themselves. And maybe you're a dude who also didn't get access to this esoteric knowledge because you weren't like one of them, you know? They're in their little exclusive club. So it's like, I think you're leaving behind abusive dynamics too. But with the Five of Cups, I think it's like you're grieving for yourself that you were in that, and it's just sad. It just feels like overwhelming. It's okay. It's okay that it feels this way. It's all very positive. Like, you're leaving this because it's good, because it was not ever gonna work. There was nothing there for you. It's like, if you have to move, I don't know how to, like, describe it, but it's like, okay, where you were was broken and not working, so you're moving, but you're also moving to a new place, maybe, where you don't know that many people, so there's, like, at least in this situation, there might have just been the comfort zone vibes of, like, the devil you know, and you still, even in the positive change, there's still grief. That's all I'm saying. But I think you're just, like, it's about uncovering all this truth, and all this truth is leading you, this is all the truth. You're uncovering all this truth, and that is leading you to this new path. And part of it will be you finding, this is a subset of this Huna, right? The mana, the force, the peace, maybe the meditating a little bit, the finding some clarity, the finding your inner power. This is also a card about personal power. And I talked about, too, about, like, you needing to conquer that other emperor so that you could find your own inner emperor so you can start calling the shots. Your personal power. That is super important to you right now, Gemini. Acknowledging that you have it. And the personal power comes from the mastery of, like, the journey you've been on, right? It's like knowing you're so qualified because you've been working at whatever you've been doing with your life for a long time. You've developed a lot of skills over the years. You, I'm sure by now, have, like, even have the confidence to move on from this thing, you know? I mean, I commend you for it. So you have a lot to be proud of. And you have a lot that is great. Eight of Swords reversed. This is you escaping. This is you freeing yourself. This is you taking off the blindfold. This is everything we've been talking about with that Eight of Cups. It's you getting out of the trapped feeling, which, oh God, that'll be great. It might be a little scary, too. And maybe it comes with grief. I mean, maybe part of you kind of waking up to this is like a shock to your system. Like when the lava, like, ran over that temple that was hiding everything, you know? It's like, I mean, volcanoes erupting is a little bit dramatic, or could be a little scary. I mean, it was ultimately a positive thing that opened everything up for everyone else. But I'm just telling you with the Five of Cups that it's okay if you're feeling what you feel. But ultimately, so good, so good. So much truth. So much, like, so much clarity. So much cutting through bullshit. So much just seeing this, all that's been hidden from you for so long. The Five of Swords is like, not having to deal with all the bullshit anymore, really, is how I'm reading it. Like, you're not having to fight for your position anymore. You're not having to, like, you don't have to rally for your worth anymore because you know your worth. And you know your worth. You don't have to, like, start looking, it's like letting go of the fight. Because there is no fight anymore. You're moving on, Eight of Cups. You're moving on. And Six of Pentacles in reverse. I just think things are definitely probably going to be feeling a little bit of out of balance in October. I just, like, Gemini, it's also positive. It just feels like something is, it's like you getting this clarity, this truth, this insight of, like, what this abusive situation was, and getting to leave it because you're coming to deeper divine understandings of how reality works and how, what your personal power is, what you're capable of. But things might just be feeling out of balance, and that makes sense, right? You're in between chapters. You're moving. Things have been destroyed in order to give you the new beginning. But the new beginning is so beautiful, and it's so full of potential, and it can go anywhere. Anything's possible now. Like, you're not stuck anymore. And even if you were, like, so it's like if you were moving to a new city, Um, and you didn't know anyone there. That that's this, it's like kind of feeling unbalanced. It's feeling like you don't have roots in this new place. Duh. You just don't. It's like, don't expect it. And you might not be like literally moving, but I'm just saying, like, emotionally, this is like the energy that's coming up for you. But I remember I went to New York for undergrad, in like a program, and the first week I was like super depressed, even though I was like in a brand new city and it was like potentially really cool and something I had been dreaming about doing. So this might even be like that, where it's like something where like you've been dreaming of this, kind of the new thing you're moving to. Like maybe you're moving into something you've always wanted to do and you're making it happen. But it still just might be feeling, and you're so free. You're free, and you got this girl and this guy giving you the truth. But it takes a while to adjust. It just does. It takes time to get rooted into a new situation. But the beauty of that, the thing to, like, I think, focus on is that there's so much potential. Anything can happen. And you're seeing and knowing the truth now of what your life can be. And it's like a new, fresh start that you're moving toward. And I know you've been wanting it. I've been wanting a fresh start. And also, like, just to talk about what I was talking about with this, and, like, this maybe, and then this. It's like sometimes the reason why we had been having that lack mentality, or, like, fighting those battles with these bad situations, or hanging in there when we didn't really feel like we belonged. Again, I'm talking about, like, that comfort zone of, like, at least I know where I'm at. At least I know what this is. I don't like it, but I'm familiar with it, and there's a comfort level to being familiar with not having all this change. And so now that the change is here, it's like, even if it's good, it's just, this might be why it took you a while to get this clarity and this truth, and to have this courage to do this. Like, you have so much courage this month. So I think this is all super positive for you, super beautiful, and it just might be a little crazy feeling. I'm gonna see if anything else. Empress reverse. Anything else? Maybe not. Yeah. Empress reverse. I mean, I feel like Empress reverse. Yes. Okay. Empress reverse and Four of Wands reverse. It's like, I have a tarot teacher who told me reversals are not that, like, the opposite of this energy, but just that you're reversed to the invitation of this energy. So it's like, I think you're in a place where you can build these new foundations, kind of start. And the Four of Wands upright, it's like the happy card. It's like the card everyone wants, like marriages, or like happy marriages, or like friends getting together, or like celebration of like getting the dream job. But it's reversed, and then the Empress is like you being just like a beautiful bitch who has a lot of divine feminine energy and rules from kind of a nurturing, empowering place. But I think you're just adjusting. Like, all of this is so much about you adjusting. So it's like you're just adjusting into the good. The good is here. But it's just like the being patient with yourself as you process and digest. Because this is a lot to take in. This is a lot to understand. The mysteries of the universe. I talked about this with, I don't remember who, maybe Scorpio. But I think it was Scorpio. I just watched Undone on on Amazon, and it's like a story about a girl becoming a shaman, basically, and then her dad is like she's trying to escape a loop or something, and like working really hard at it, and then her dad is like, don't let the whole ocean in at once, because then you'll really lose your mind. So with all these energies kind of being reversed, I think it's like, just be patient and slow with yourself as you digest what you're learning and how you're kind of coming to deeper understandings of what the universe is and what the universe has in store for you, and how you can co-create with the universe and build your reality. It's also positive. It might feel, I just want to be honest, that this super positive, beautiful, life-changing, transformative energy that's opening everything up to your wildest dreams might not feel or look like that this month, but it is. Like, please have, like, at any time you're feeling shitty, please try to, like, find a part of you that can believe me that this is all really in your highest good, and that this is, like, you having a lot of courage, and you having a lot of strength, and you having been through the shit already. Like, the shit's in the past. You're just getting rooted in your new place. You're just kind of learning the lay of the land. So it's a transition. It's a transition. And just know that that's what this is. And that you don't need to let the whole ocean in at once. You don't need to have it all figured out or understood. Because then you might really go crazy. And that's not helpful. You don't need to go crazy. You don't need to push yourself too much. Just have faith. Have faith and kind of like be proud of yourself as much as you can. Like, I hope you can be proud of yourself for everything that you've already done and everything that you built yourself up to for what's ahead of you. That's my reading for you. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. I hope this resonated with you. If it didn't, I guess it wasn't your message, etc., as they say. Please like and subscribe. I would think that you would know that I want you to like and subscribe, because, like, what YouTube tarot reader doesn't want you to click a button so that they get a little alert so that, like, I get points? You know, I want points for this. Of course I do. But I also just want to reach out and connect with whoever is watching these and whoever is getting something out of it. That's the real truth. But I like feedback. Who doesn't? Alright. I made the end about me. Beautiful. I'm like, oh, you're going through all this super intense shit. Also me. Like and subscribe. Okay. And if it resonated with you, great. Yeah. And I love you, and I will see you in November. Bye.